As many of you will know, one of the major features of Abdu'l-Bahá's travels through the Western world after his release from prison was his talks. As he travelled across Europe and America, he gave talk after talk after talk, day in and day out, speaking in various spaces about his father's teachings. And people often noted that Abdu'l-Bahá rarely prepared a talk in advance. And his talks never felt in any way like conventional academic lectures. He would speak impromptu, and often he would speak about whatever topics came to his mind in that moment. And he sometimes actually commented how surprised he was at how often public speakers would decide what they were going to say to their audience before looking into the eyes of the people. And there's a lovely anecdote about one of Abdu'l-Bahá's talks that he gave in New York. It had been a long day. He was very tired, but he was due to give this talk in someone's home. And so he, shortly before the guests were arriving, he took a nap. And Abdu'l-Bahá slept a little bit late, and when the guests arrived, he was still asleep. And so he woke up and literally got up off the bed, walked into the reception room, and began a talk. And he began by telling the guests that he had been sleeping and he had had a dream about them. And as he woke up, he had one word on his mind, and that word was distinction. And so he decided in that moment that he would like to speak with them about this word, distinction. And that talk that Abdu'l-Bahá gave that day in New York, which was totally off the cuff and inspired by the dream that he had had just moments before delivering the actual talk, has become one of the most beloved of all of Abdu'l-Bahá's talks. And this talk is essentially about Abdu'l-Bahá's hope for the Baha'is of the world. And this is a short extract from that talk. He said, "For you I desire spiritual distinction. That is, you must become eminent and distinguished in morals. In the love of God, you must become distinguished from all else. You must become distinguished for loving humanity, for unity and accord, for love and justice. In brief, you must become distinguished in all the virtues of the human world, for faithfulness and sincerity, for justice and fidelity, for firmness and steadfastness, for philanthropic deeds and service to the human world, for love toward every human being, for unity and accord with all people, for removing prejudices and promoting international peace. Finally, you must become distinguished for heavenly illumination and for acquiring the bestowals of God. I desire this distinction for you." Hi there, I'm doing these short videos throughout 2021 in honor of the centenary of the passing of Abdu'l-Bahá, whose writings are the basis of my new album, Home of Light, which is coming out one song at a time throughout the year. All these short stories come from this book, Vignettes from the Life of Abdu'l-Bahá by Annamarie Honnold, and I hope these little anecdotes give us some glimpses into Abdu'l-Bahá's life during this special year. Also, if you'd like a copy of the album, since Home of Light has been made through the support of so many friends around the world, I've decided to give it away as a gift on behalf of everybody who helped to make it. So if you'd like to receive the album, you can sign up at my website, lukeslott.com. It's linked in the description below. And in November, prior to the centenary itself, you'll receive the album as a gift in celebration of Abdu'l-Bahá's life. So I appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe buttons, and if you'd like to hear the story behind the album, you can check out my podcast, A Story of Light, also linked in the description below.